Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Graveyard Shift. It's me and the gal, and we are here. We are talking. And while we technically have subjects and stuff to talk about, we were just previously ranting. We're literally 30 minutes behind start time, because we were talking about just random bullshit. And Gal was talking about like stupid hot takes, and one of them being like "hear me out" cakes and stuff. And then I started ranting because all the "hear me out" cakes. Which, if you don't know what "hear me out" cakes are, it's where you and other people bring like printed out pictures of different characters, different whatever, can be people, cannot be people, etc., whatever it is, and you put them on a toothpick, and you put that toothpick into a cake, and "hear me out" is the phrase that means like you are arguing that the thing you're putting down is attractive, or if you are not asexual, is fuckable, in like a positive light. And so I started ranting on this topic, not because I'm asexual, in fact the opposite, because I think people are pussies with their "hear me out" cakes. All right,
I actually agree with this.
thank you, because they're fucking. Oh, I just knocked into everything. Holy shit. Because listen, listen. People are putting fucking objectively hot characters onto their "hear me out" cakes. Bitch, if it is humanoid in any way, shape, or form, you cannot call it "hear me out" because the purpose.
I disagree with that.
No, the purpose of a "hear me out" is supposed to be that the thing you are arguing is sexy or attractive or fuckable, cannot in any way, shape, or form be that thing to the average person. And I think the average person, if the character is humanoid, is easily attractive and fuckable.
I think it depends on what it is when it comes to humanoids, because there's some ugly ass humanoids that I'd be like, absolutely the fuck not. And that could be like someone's "hear me out." So I think it really depends on the character. Like I had this debate with some of my IRL friends because
Mm.
they were trying to decide if it what counted as "hear me out" or not. And people were listing shit that was like an obvious one, like,
Yeah,
like Aunt Fanny from the movie Robots.
easy.
And I'm
Like,
just
what the
like,
fuck?
easy. And
If
then
you.
someone went, Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens, which I was like,
Yeah,
I
easy.
mean, I guess. I
Yeah,
like
that's easy, bro. See, if you do not hesitate, or if you only stop to go, I don't think it can qualify as a "hear me out." I think a "hear me out" either has to give you an immediate visceral ew, or it has to genuinely make you think. Now, with the humanoid comment, if we are including like I personally don't include real people. I don't think that's fair. If we
no,
stick
that's not
yeah,
fair. And that's
if
gross.
yeah, if we stick to characters, I will allow a little bit of argument that okay, maybe like the old Nasty Men style characters would qualify and "hear me out." But to some degree, like a lot 99.9% of all humanoids are not "hear me outs, because I could see a world in which some bitch is like, yeah, actually, yeah, immediately. And like and also even a lot of non-humanoids. Like, this is the idea with the Pokemon pass or smash. You will never
Mm.
see my ass do a Pokemon pass or smash. You want to know why? Because every single one is a smash, motherfucker. I don't know what to tell
No,
you, unless it
no.
looks like a child and it is not
Yeah.
even a child. Like, unless it is a child, right? Like, we are not gonna do the baby to Cubone or whatever the fuck dead mother shit is. Unless
Yeah.
it's a literal child, all of it is smashable. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you can't put Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron on a "hear me out" cake. That horse is fuckable. He's voiced by goddamn Matt Damon. Any Disney animal character is fuckable. Why? Eyebrows. Okay, I've had this conversation. Eyebrows make your character.
Eyebrows.
Yes! Eyebrows make a
Fuck?
animal character fuckable. This is science. This is science. If you listen to me. Anybody out there, if you're drawing animal characters and you're like, damn, I really need this animal character to be more fuckable, here's what you do. You give them fucking eyebrows, because eyebrows are the way Disney makes every non-humanoid animal character attractive. I'm not kidding. It's always the
I
eyebrows.
such
Always.
cap. This is I don't believe that at
It's 100%
all.
true. I promise you it's true. I can prove that shit. Go literally you can list any
Next
character.
episode, we're gonna talk about eyebrows
Bitch,
and
I will
how they
bring it.
make things fuckable. You know,
Yo,
put some caterpillars on their face and you'll be
it's
fine.
true.
What
No,
the
it's true.
fuck?
It is 100% true. Listen, you can name any Disney animal, and I'm telling you, the place that because what the eyebrows do is they make them emotive and they give them human style expressions and emotions. And you're thinking, well, the whole face does that or the body language does that. No, it doesn't. The eyebrows are what do it because, and it doesn't have to be like, okay, we see a line, like it's a different color or something. It doesn't have to be that. It can be the same color, but just like the bone or the muscle of the eyebrow style movement. Because what's happening is it's making their facial reactions able to do and mimic human facial reactions, and thus you resonate more with them, and they're able to do like smarmy looks and sexy looks in a way that animals can't. All right, these are reasons why if you look at like a regular, like the Lion King, the CGI one, right? If you
I
look
did
at
not watch
these,
it.
okay, so if you look at these movies, the Simba is significantly less fuckable. And let me explain to you why. It's because he doesn't have eyebrows, because he cannot emote as well. So he is not as fuckable. Now you go and watch Mufasa. Mufasa and his brother Taka or Scar are infinitely more fuckable than the original CGI lions. Why? Because they gave them eyebrow movements. Like it's crazy. It's fantastic. This needs to be told to the universe. All right? Eyebrows, I am the furry. Eyebrows are how you make animal characters fuckable. Thank you for my TED Talk.
Oh my god. This, you know what? I was so excited. I was good. So when Rachel and I were talking about what we were going to discuss
Mm.
tonight, we had two options, and it
Mm-hmm.
was either hot takes or
Mm-hmm.
literature. And so I'm just, I was not expecting to get into how to fuck animals because you put eyebrows on them. I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're what, 10 minutes in.
Yes, we are. And this is why we're the best podcast. Because no other podcast will you have a genuine motherfucker sit down and tell you how to make your animals fuckable. All right? Do you hear the Fear Ann podcast talking to you about how to make Simba fuckable? Do you hear fucking The Yard or The Basement Yard or Trash Taste explaining to you how Disney makes their lions fuckable? No, you don't. All right? You only get that quality shit here. Okay? Only here. And I'm not afraid to show my face. You could go look at all my other content, all right? I will say it on the live stream. You can hop into my live stream and say, Rachel, you were talking about how to make animals fuckable. And I'll say, yes, the fuck I was. It's eyebrows. All right? Quality content. Here and only here. TikTok, YouTube, whoever the fuck hears this, come talk to me about how to make animals fuckable on the live stream. I dare you.
I think we just opened a whole barrel of monkeys. Eyebrowless, of course, but
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like on the topic of like hear me
Mm.
outs, I feel like there are some like non like humanoids that are 100% like you'd know.
Oh, yeah, it's easier to find a non-humanoid that is a hear me out.
Or not non-humanoid, but like humanoids that are like a no
There are a
for the hear
few,
me out.
but they're rare.
I'm trying to
I
think
think
of
they're
stuff.
rare. I think they're rare. Like, because even if I think it would genuinely, and here's the thing, I think they're only hear me outs because of personality, not necessarily
Mm.
because of appearance. Um, because in my opinion, I'm a villain fucker, right? I'm a villain fucker and a furry fucker and a monster fucker. I'm an everything fucker for an asexual. And the thing is, that means that most characters that people would be like, absolutely not. I would not consider a hear me out because to me, I'm like, yeah, I might not do it, but also I'd do it. Like,
I did.
if we stay on Disney, no one, well, I think that Mr. Judge Claude Frollo is not a hear me out. Like, a lot of people
Well,
might go,
no.
he's old and he tried to rape a woman. He might be a hear me out. But that's personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's also got a lot of riz. Like, I think he's not, I
See,
think he's,
I wouldn't,
thank
only
you.
because he's not my type. But
But, exactly my
I,
point.
eh, I could
Exactly my
see it.
point.
There's some freaky. Uh, I'm so nervous that people are gonna put their hear me outs in the comments of this.
Do it.
I
I
mean,
fucking dare
I
you.
will judge you lovingly.
I will
Uh,
respond. This is not a joke. Unless somehow we get fucking famous off this bullshit, I will respond to every comment that puts their genuine, like, I think if this is my most hear me out, like my most vulgar, my most no one will agree with me, hear me out. It has to be yours. It can't just be like Satan from hell. It has to legitimately be like your, hey, I think this guy's fuckable and I don't think anyone on the planet would agree with me. If you put that one in the comments, I am not joking. I will respond and tell you whether I think it is a good hear me out or not. This is not a joke because I think as an asexual, I will fuck most things.
which is funny to me. I think that's very interesting.
All in theory, of course, but still.
Yes.
I just don't think there's a lot hear me
What
out.
do you?
I don't think there's anything you could say that I would say
Well
no
then,
to.
what is your your biggest hear me out then?
Everything. Like, because there's genuinely not much that I think. So it would be like the majority of stuff because I would say yes to a bunch that probably a lot of people would not say yes to. So, um, and again, we're taking off real living things because that's never allowed. That's gross and nasty. And we're taking off anything that is like canonically a child because that's gross and nasty.
Yes. We
Um,
do not condone any
fuck
sort
nah.
of type
Fuck
no.
nah. We don't do that shit.
We have
Um,
standards.
but
Low
like
ones, but standards.
literally there's if y'all have ever watched Game Grumps or some shit, they've had this conversation over like when is an animal too much like an animal to be like on the fuckable scale.
Hmm.
I like ferals. I am a furry who likes a feral. Like straight up fucking wolf link on all fours, howls. I'm down for it. Like, and he's a straight wolf. Yeah, technically
Hmm.
he's Link, but is he? Like, it's one of those things where a lot of people would take animals that are just animals in the universe and they would not be hear me outs. But, or they
Hmm.
would not do them. So they would then be hear me outs for me. So I think that's probably the majority of answers that I could give would be things that are really close to like, for me, the only way I'm saying no, almost like probably 100% of the time, is sentience level. But in my opinion,
Mm.
if we are not on human, like if the thing cannot consent, I don't think it should be included anyways. I think that
Hmm.
goes with like the no children, no real people rule. So like if we're talking creatures where it's not on, it doesn't have to be anthropomorphic. Again, Wolflink can consent cuz that's a man. He's just a wolf. But like it's one if they're not on the human level intelligence to be able to consent, I don't think they count. So like assuming everything is on human level intelligence and can
Yeah.
consent, there's probably nothing. Like
I don't see. I don't really know. Like, if you presented a character to me,
mm,
I could be like, yay or no. I was trying to think. Someone said, the Thing from like the old movie.
from what?
What is it? Hold
Like
on.
Adam's family?
No, I lied. No, what's it called? Fuck. Hold on.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know of the thing is like the Adams family version. Like the
No,
hand.
I'm talking about like the big old slime boy. I forget what it's
The
called.
big old slime boy.
Return. No, hold on.
Big old slime boy.
Hold on.
I
I'm gonna
don't
look up
know.
pictures.
I'll just look up
Because there's also the thing from Marvel, which is an immediate smash regardless.
Thing from Marvel. I'm just gonna look up "Hear Me Out" lists
Okay.
while you look up this jazz. Um, because I don't think
Yes.
anyone will find a character that I'm like, yeah, see, a lot of these are just ugly art styles. And I'm like, bro, they're just ugly. Like, just because they're ugly doesn't mean they're not fuckable.
Is it the
Like,
slime?
oh, you
Oh, the
mean the.
blob. There we go. The
Yeah,
blob.
it's just a blob. Why not? Like that's monster fucker territory. If you will not
Yeah.
fuck, if you are you cannot claim to. I could not claim to be a monster fucker, and this goes for anybody out there who claims they're a real monster fucker. You cannot claim to be a monster fucker if you would not be down with no hesitation to fuck any ghost in Ghostbusters. Like, if you won't fuck the slime monster and you won't fuck the other monsters, you're not a monster fucker. What you are is a little boy who likes to see a girl who's like, I'm a vampire. That's what you want. And then you think you're a monster fucker because you see a cute girl with teeth. I'm like, no, baby, that's not a monster fucker. All right? That's not how this works. A monster fucker would play the Cthulhu date game and be like, fuck yeah, I'm dating Cthulhu.
Honestly, this could branch to the topic of dating sims
Hell yeah, I
are
love dating sims.
such a weird sort of like thing for me. Like
Really? Because I've voiced in several.
like no, I understand like the premise and I think
mm,
you know, but the things that you can date,
mm.
like the creativity of the people who make them
Oh.
baffles me.
Oh, have you seen we will be playing it by the way.
Oh
I'm
god.
sure I'm sure it's going to be super wholesome because they're famous people. But like we will be playing it cuz it's got everybody we love in it. In June,
Mhm.
the game Date Everything comes out, which is
Mm.
literally the location is your house, and every single thing in your house turns from an inanimate object to like a
Yes,
sentient
I've
person.
seen that.
And they're
Like
all
you
fully
can fuck a
voice acted.
piano.
Yup. You can fuck the rug. You can fuck the door
Ew.
handle. You can
I
fuck the
would not want to fuck a
toilet.
rug.
You can fuck the D&D dice. Like literally you can fuck the light bulb, everything in the house. So because it's a bunch of really famous voice actors, I think it's going to be PG. I don't think you're
Mm.
even going to get very like you maybe will get a not even drawn kiss. Like I don't
Mm.
think we're even going to get that genuinely. But we will be playing it when it comes out in June. And if y'all think I will not do like 24-hour, however hour long live streams in order for me to date literally everything, you
Yep.
are wrong. The only issue we'll have is June is also when we're going to be recording our Daggerheart show. So,
Oh god.
I might have to wait until after we record, and then I'll just do a week live and never sleep so we can date everything. But we will be doing it.
Oh
We
my
will be
god.
I might even wait like I don't want to wait a month after it comes out because algorithm bullshit and also I just really want to play it. But I might wait until the month after because my birthday's July 13th and I would love to just spend the entire day dating every single thing in that game.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so excited for it. But okay, let me look up more of the. See, like the
Yeah.
hear me outs that I'm seeing are just like horror movie villains. And I'm
Yeah. Like I
like,
saw one that's like Chucky doll
yeah,
and like
well, that's a
Tiffany.
child,
I
you know?
see it's weird because it's like a child doll, but that like he is an adult. Like
That's the Ted scenario. Yeah, where it's an
yeah.
adult. That's fair. That's fair.
Would you okay, here's a good one.
Mm,
Would you think like because we talked about TTRPGs last time,
mm.
right? Would is there any of the characters you've made for a TTRPG that you wouldn't bang?
Absolutely not. You think I make characters that aren't fuckable? I specifically only create characters that are fuckable. And that includes characters I make as a GM and characters I play. Okay, I don't play a character if my character is not hot and fuckable in some format. All right? Like I play himbos and I play not tsunderes, but like standoffish women. That's about it.
Oh, oh wait, I have a good one. Hold on. Oh,
Mm.
what's it called? Um, oh no, it's from Resident Evil.
Mhm.
Monroe.
Easy. That's Neil Newbin, isn't it? Isn't that him?
Oh,
No, Monroe's the fish guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Monroe's the fish guy. Yeah, why the fuck not? He a fish guy. I would allow him to be a hear me out. I think he would teeter on the edge of like, okay, I guess I could see him being somebody's hear me out. Like, I could see the average person not wanting to fuck Monroe. However, my issue with the average person saying, yeah, that's a hear me out, no normal person would want to fuck Monroe, is the reason they say that is because he's like slimy and goopy. But
Mhm.
excuse me, all you sex havers, what the fuck do you think occurs when you have traditional intercourse? Slime and goop and blood and nastiness. Like, so what? You don't like him because he's gonna add more slime and goop to your slime and goop? Like, I don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. So sure, I would let him be on the hear me out cake, but he barely passes.
I
Barely.
also think that this like is towards the opinion of what is conventionally attractive.
Yeah, 100%.
So like Monroe is definitely not what you would consider conventionally attractive.
Mm-hmm.
He's fugly. Um and so I think that's also why people kind of do the hear me out cakes because they're like it's not conventionally attractive.
Yeah,
And I
and
think
that's
that's
the
what
issue.
yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are like missing out on. Like you could do a fucking toaster. Like, dude,
Yeah, I've
like
seen the brave little toaster ones. I think they're meant to be kids, but I guess technically
they
the
are
toasters
kids.
are they children? See,
Yes.
I don't know because
Well,
I've
not
never
all of
seen it.
them.
Okay.
So there's always like the grandfather, right?
Oh.
Or like the old one,
Hmm.
but they're most of them are kids. The little toaster is a child.
Ah, okay. See, I don't know. I've never watched that shit. I didn't even know it existed until like a couple of years ago.
Really?
That yeah, that whatever that shit was did not happen in my little Midwestern house. I don't know what the fuck a brave toaster was. We might have been watching Passion at the Christ at like 6 years old, but we didn't watch no brave toaster. I don't know what the hell that is. That's why when I saw it, I was like, why do all these people like collectively know what this is? What the fuck?
Yeah, no, we had the Brave Little Toaster. My family had it on VHS, and we would watch it.
No
It was a good
idea.
show. I'm trying to think what it would be like. I'm also looking up like
Yeah, see, all these cakes are
unconventional.
bullshit. Like, people have the Joker on here. Bitch, I've been a Joker simp since I was born. People have the Fox from Zootopia. Are you fucking stupid? He has eyebrows. Of course he's attractive. Like,
What about the Demogorgon from
oh,
Stranger Things?
I never did watch that. Organ. I only got through like I think I
Maybe
only got through like
Fireboy. That's
season 1 and half of season 2 because it was boring as shit. It's so funny the amount of people who recommend me to watch Stranger Things, or they go, "You've seen Stranger Things, right? That's a show you would like." And I have to look them dead in the face and go, "What's the genre?" And they go, "Sci-fi." And I go, "Uh-huh." And they go, "Really though? Stranger Things?" And I'm like, I got through maybe a season before I myself wished all those children were dead. Like, I was like,
damn.
I fucking hated it. God, it is not my shit. Like, if you've got me consuming sci-fi, legitimately the only sci-fi I've ever enjoyed is Star Trek, Next Generation, and I still
Mhm.
never watched a lot of it. I'm just a Patrick Page fan. So, oops. So he's the only reason I liked that. And the Alien Isolation game. I don't know why. it's just I fucking adored it when it came out, and I would bet even playing it now, I'd love it with every fiber of my being. But to be fair, I do think video games are a little different when it comes to the genre. But like, if you have made sci-fi and somehow you have me even slightly over the line of yes, I liked it. Like, if you have me anywhere near I liked it, consider yourself to have reached as great of heights as fucking Albert Einstein. Okay, you basically invented the phone like Alexander Graham Bell because I don't like sci-fi. Like, I don't know, you should be billionaire because crazy to get me to like sci-fi. I hate it. Um anyways, I just googled the Demogorgon. Yeah, that thing's got like 50 mouths. Of course you fuck that thing. Why would you not fuck that thing?
Fuck, I know.
Again, monster fucker here. Of course I'd fuck that thing.
See, I love reading a lot of monster smut books. That is my not my guilty pleasure, but my dirty pleasure when it comes to books. I was actually, if we were gonna go on to literature, that's what I would be talking about the whole time. There's a series that I like, and it's coming out with its like it's a trilogy, and now it's coming out with like the side story that I've been waiting for.
Well, you gotta tell me about
for
it now.
2 years now.
You gotta tell me about it now. Because all these hear me out cakes are bullshit. People are putting like Merida from Brave on it. I'm like, of course she's hot, dumb fuckers.
But I think she's a kid.
I think she's 18, isn't she? Or she's 17? Merida,
I don't know. She's still not
from Brave.
I don't do any of the Disney princesses because they're all under 18.
They're surprisingly. Oh, she's 16? Well, I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. Disney does that. Where, like, they put these badass women out there, and then they're like, actually, they're like 12. And they pull the anime thing.
I think all of them are under 18, which I'm like, okay,
Which is crazy. There's definitely one that is an adult, but I think it's Tiana. Let me see.
Yeah, Tiana was like 20
Tiana's
something.
19. Yeah, because I remember specifically, which is still too young for what she is. And I think the argument was like Elsa's an adult too, but Elsa doesn't fucking count.
Elsa's not a princess; she's a queen. There's a difference.
Exactly. But like Disney does the anime thing where they do the opposite of the anime thing. The anime thing is to make a character that looks like they're like a baby, and then they go, but they're thousands of years old, so it's okay to make fan art. And literally that's what anime does.
Anime characters are I hate.
Disney does the opposite though. Disney makes like characters that look like they're like, all right, maybe she like, you know, like Tiana. Like Tiana looks like a full ass adult. That woman sounds like she's 30 something. She dresses and acts like she's at least in her 20s, and then she's 19. So Disney does the opposite where they're like, we're gonna make actual human like beings that function and talk and work like adults, and then they turn out to be like 12. Like, and you know they do it on purpose because if we're not gonna get too much into it because obviously not great territory, but Pocahontas, who literally was a child, you know, Disney on purpose aged that bitch up to be like, no, look at how adult, definitely an adult, fully an adult. Like,
so I from my quick Google search, this is very interesting. The two oldest by age Disney princesses are Tiana, who's 19, and Cinderella, who's also 19.
Oh, Cinderella does kind of feel old. I could feel that.
Which is shocking to me. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know why. I remember there was a Hear Me Out cake, and someone did the crab from Moana, and they all got so mad at her. The person like doing it.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Bro?
And they're just like, how would that work? And she's like, I don't know. Like,
that's not the question. The question is not how does it work. That's not the question.
Is why would it work?
Exactly. The question is, does the average person think it would work? That's the question, all right?
I also feel like we can't judge it because we're not average people.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
other
we're
issue.
not allowed to be talking about this.
Yeah, because that's the problem. Is like I can't. Do I think the average person might say such and such? Sure. Do I think the average person is wrong? 24/7, always 100%. Like that's the issue here. Is hear me out cake is based on average person's ideal attraction bullshit. And I'm like, well, the average person ideal attraction bullshit is
It's
halfway.
boring.
Yeah, if it's not racist, it's dumb and plain. Like so. I'm like, nah, I don't want any of that. All right, you guys are boring little bullshitters. But yes, tell me about your sex books.
Actually, so this is gonna be so embarrassing, and I pray my mother never finds this out.
She
No,
won't.
so
Nobody gonna find
she
us.
won't. No, it's fine. But so I have been really into. There's an author. Her name's Tiffany Roberts, and she does a lot of monster fucking books, and they are delicious.
Hell yeah.
Um, and there was one, and I actually got my boyfriend invested as well, and which has been really fun. But what is it called?
Dun dun
Sorry.
dun dun.
I was looking I was looking it up. So the I'm opening up my Kindle. Shout out to Kindle app, Kindle Unlimited. Um
Dun 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 dun.
so do you know what a drider is?
I've heard of the word in
This, this is
theory.
this is important to the story. That's
Hold
what I'm
on,
asking.
I'm looking it up. Oh, the spider people.
Yeah, so basically driders are
Nice.
like spider centaurs, for those of you who don't know.
Mm.
And so she does a trilogy book based focusing on driders, and it is, sci-fi fantasy romance, which I'm a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I like hers a lot better is because they don't speak English, and half
Oh.
the book is them trying to communicate. And I
Interesting.
love that. It's not like I think what she does really well is that she kind of like pulls away from the stereotypes. Like, yeah, it's girl, girl gets, boosted into the fucking sun,
Mm-hmm.
somehow
Mm-hmm.
survives, but it starts with the alien. And it kind of gives like that world building, like, I found this thing. I wonder what it is. Pet, cool. And then it's
Huh.
like them like the first couple like I think the first book is them trying to figure out what the fuck they are and trying to figure out like means of communication, which is
Okay.
really funny. And then there's the drama, right? That like the plot of like the the queen whatever the queen spider doesn't like new things and doesn't and is trying to take the main protagonist, and they go, no, let's not do that. So
Okay.
it kind of becomes just like this weird like kind of like rescue mission. But one of my favorite parts about this book is the writer in question introduces the female protagonist to his friends after they've kind of figured out how to talk to each other.
Mm.
Like maybe they're like they're mixing English and like their language. And
Okay.
so she tries her best to introduce herself, and all of them goes, "It speaks words. What is it?" Like, without
Oh
fail.
my god.
Every time she's introduced and tries to speak their language, without fail, they go, "It speaks words. What is it?" I love it
Wow.
so much. It's so funny
Wow.
because they're just like it's kind of ugly looking, like for the
Okay,
human. Like it's
that's funny
very
as
not.
shit.
It's not human centered, which I really
Mm.
find funny. And so they're just like, why the fuck does it have 5 fingers? And how does it walk on only 2 legs? Like, what
Oh,
is
that's
this thing?
funny.
And it's so good, and I highly recommend it. It is, and so like the trilogy is completed. It's been forever,
Okay.
but the side quest is what I want. It's ooh, because I'm gonna rant so hard. I'm a sucker for like the quiet one and the shy
Mm.
one and they
I
become friends.
see.
And it's that for the side one. And it comes out in 2 weeks. And I need it to be here now because I've been waiting since I read this in France when I was in
Oh,
France.
damn.
And it's not in I guess no, it's not in French, but it was like,
Mm.
what I really liked about the Kindle was you can download the book. And so I didn't need to use, Wi-Fi or data
Mhm.
to be entertained on like plane rides and shit.
Right, right, right.
And I needed it to be I need more. But she writes a whole bunch of books and she has like a bunch of different worlds. And actually this kind of got me into basically the monster fucking kind of books, but like alien monster fucking. And I'm a huge fan and I love it so much. And I would read it out loud if I wasn't gonna get sued into oblivion if I did. But I
That's
highly recommend
funny.
it. It's so fun. I just love it speaks
Huh.
words.
It speaks words.
And
Interesting.
I think a fun thing is they do everything by eights, like the spiders, because 8 legs and stuff, which I find really
Oh.
funny. And
Okay,
that's how
that's
they
funny.
curse. They have a god and it was like the eight, so they go by the eight, which means fuck this. And I think it's so funny. And
That's
then
like
she teaches
ultimate pun territory.
yeah, but she teaches them the word fuck, and he goes, I like this word.
Oh, oh. I like
Because
this word.
and because like something bad happens, and I also am a slut for dual POV, like POV,
Mm.
uh, just because I like looking at like both sides of the story, and
Mm.
so after he taught it, like something bad happens, and the last word of his chapter is fuck. Just like, I'm just like yes,
that
baby.
that's kind of adorable.
It's so good. I'd highly recommend it, even if you're not into science fiction.
Mm.
It's not like Star Trekky science fiction. It's more just Homegirl is not where she's supposed to be.
Well, and to be
Like it's not like
fair,
lasers
Drider
or
is more
anything.
yeah, but Drider is more of a fantasy thing too than
Yeah.
a sci-fi thing.
Yeah, it is more fantasy, but it's alien and so there's like space technology and whatever. They
Mm.
don't have technology there. They use fucking rocks and shit, which I'm like, cool. But like there was a whole they had an argument like this was when he first kind of like basically kidnapped this girl because
Mm.
he's just goes what this and there's a scene where she really needed to piss and was trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
leave and he goes no and she's like all right I'm gonna just piss here and then he yells at her and they end up like making fun of each other because they're just mad at each other.
That's
And it's the
funny.
funniest shit because they don't know like this is at the point where they don't understand each other.
Yeah.
So you just hear gibberish and he does like when like you mimic someone talking, like you move your hand and like the puppet type thing,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
doing that to
yeah.
her and like
Wow.
chittering. And so she does like they have like fangs and stuff. So she like puts her like she like hooks two of her fingers and like makes her fangs and makes fun of him back. And he goes, "How dare this?" like literally the audacity of this hoe.
Wow, that's
It's
funny.
so good.
Sounds
It's
like a
so
little
good.
bit of a comedy too.
Yeah, and I am a huge fan. And then it gets the I like the proportion of plot to smut. I
Mm.
do. It's good.
You gotta have
But I
good
need
plot in there.
I hate I'm gonna be honest, I hate romance books that are nothing but smut. I think it is so boring.
Well, yeah, because
I
they're
need
just porn. Like there's a
yeah,
difference between like it's the same conversation of like erotic film versus whatever.
I
You know what I mean?
I think it's so boring. Like I need to know the reason as to why they're, going at it like high schoolers. Like
Fair, fair.
I don't know. I'm super picky because like if it starts out with smut, I won't finish the book.
Mm.
I'm just like there's no reason for it. And I hate this is definitely an 18 plus one. But I hate the different uses, like the different words that mean dick. I
Mm.
think like sword. I'm just like, what the fuck? You're not a sheath, honey. Like,
Literally, I was
like
about to say sheath. I was legitimately about to go sheath. That's the one I know.
and
Uh,
they're just like member, and I'm just like,
ugh.
fuck it, just say dick, like say
That's.
cock.
I hate that. Oh
Yeah.
no.
There was
Plot twist. This is gonna be the
um
bonus episode. Oh.
what was it? There was another one that it just I hated. Oh wait, member's a terrible one. I hate member.
Mm.
It was like joystick or
Oh,
something.
what the
Stupid.
fuck?
Yeah, she's like, I played with his joystick. I'm like, what the? Are you playing the video? Like,
Literally,
huh?
are you Galaga? What the fuck? What are you
None of them
playing
were even
Sonic
gamers,
06? That's
and I'm
some.
just like,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
I would love to talk about the red flags that are 100 or overlooked in romance novels. Because
Go
good
for
God,
it. We can
I
make this the
hate.
bonus episode. It's all
I
good.
don't care. We can do whatever the fuck we want. I don't care. I know how long we've been going.
I got the time running. Don't worry.
Okay,
I keep
but
track of time.
I don't. I'm just here. But like, I think it's. I hate because sometimes it's fun to get lost in the story and like, oh my god, these people don't exist, and
Mm,
he'd kill for her or whatever. But then
mm.
like, you'll go back to reality and be like, if I met this person in real life, I would call the cops.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think
Oh
it's
yeah.
so interesting, but I don't know. I think like especially now, romance books are like dark romances. If you like it, that's like 100% fine.
Right.
But like, there's some shit that's like, god damn, like you
Yeah.
don't
It's like
need some.
suspension of disbelief. Like there is a current what's the word I'm looking for? A a K drama that
Mm,
I pulled up because the only tag it has on Netflix is romantic. And I was like, cool. There's a very separate niche section of K drama romance that is woman pretends to be man and man falls in love with her as a man. It's the Mulan thing.
yeah.
And it's a that is its own section. It does have stuff under it. Not own sections, and you're gonna find it on like streaming networks, but it is a thing. And I
Hmm.
love that shit. That shit's fire. And so I saw that that was the plot, and I was like, oh, it's under romantic, cool. It's gonna be one of those that fits in this category. I'll watch it. I'm watching this
Hmm.
thing, and the first thing I notice. See, now I feel like well, okay, yeah, we might as well get into it. We got 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
So the first thing I notice is that, and this is not bad. This is actually good. It's just rare for this kind of a thing. Um, the actors and the characters they're portraying are significantly older than the usual, like, maybe not the actors, I don't know, but at least the characters that they're playing come across as significantly older than the usual, like, I'm a young whatever who just started this job and now we're going
Yeah.
to do such and such energy. Um, and so I was like, huh, interesting. I like seeing older people represented in a lot of shit. I'm gonna watch it. And when I say older people, I don't mean old, right? I'm not talking like 70s and 80s. I'm talking just like if you were watching
Like
a
40s and shit.
yeah, like your
Yeah.
protagonist of this Hallmark movie are like is like 40. And I'm like,
Nice.
oh, nobody makes content with these people in mind. And on one hand, I agree with that because fuck a boomer, most of them are Republican. But on the other
I'm
hand,
trying not
like,
to. That's the problem.
yeah, but on the other hand, we should be making content representing all people of all ages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So yeah, so I really like I was kind of excited for it. I was like, "Oh, this is an age range that like doesn't get represented." And again, I'm sorry to the actors if they're young and they just feel this way to me. But that is how I felt. It's like, "Oh, they feel kind of older." I was like, interesting. And it's also always interesting to see that because usually the version of the Mulan trope in Korean romance dramas is specific to the Joseon time period where there's the trope that's going to happen is the king or the prince or
Mhm.
someone in line of the throne or at the throne is one of the romance people. And so of
Yeah.
course that is what happens with this one. Where he's like the son of the not the son, he's the brother of the king. And
Hmm.
uh it was interesting because oftentimes when they're these like young feeling like 20 somethings, there's a little bit of suspension of disbelief, right? Where you're like, okay, well, maybe they would have been that age in that time period, but also like you're like 22, you could be the king and stuff, and you have a little sweet little romance. Okay, cute. But in this one, like the guy who is the king really feels like an old ass man who's gonna die any second. Which again, I'm sorry because he's probably
Oh
like
no.
40, but like.
I mean, they probably feel like that.
Yeah, right. And the his brother feels, he's not doesn't feel that much younger, and the woman who plays our main female lead also feels like a mature woman. Like it's not just the how they try and because usually if you're doing the Mulan trope, you have a woman that's a bit more like masculine in personality, or a
Hmm.
bit more butch, if you will. Um,
Hmm.
she does have that personality, but it is less that and just genuinely like she feels intimidating. Like this feels
Mm.
like a woman who is old enough to be able to go sit the fuck back down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I was really intrigued and I'm watching this I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is interesting." And then I start realizing, "Huh, this feels like it's got very little romance. But the only tag that this show was in was romance."
Hmm.
And so I'm sitting here watching this like, huh, I did not
Interesting.
yeah, like I did not turn this on in order to like I expected a very rom-commy like romance centered that kind of center and the rest of the plot was just going to be there for drama type of energy.
Hmm.
And I enjoy those when I enjoy them, so I expected that, but I didn't get it. I've got like little. It's very interesting because they start the show that way, where the first episode or two does have a lot of those classic like slow mo meet cute things,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, like you reach like episode 3, and some tragic shit happens, um, and they like this dramatic thing happens that's going to put the two of them at odds. And usually when this happens it's like, "Oh, drama," but somehow, the truth that neither of them are evil will come out and everything will go back to
Hmm.
normal and resolve itself. And so I'm sitting here waiting. I'm like, "Okay, oh yeah, she's going to get tortured. Okay, but he'll save her." And I'm sitting here watching the episode keeps going. And I'm like looking at this time bar like maybe he saves her the next episode because this feels like we're getting a little late into the episode for the I'm sure it's fine. And then it keeps going and more
Hmm.
stuff is happening where we're following him and not her. And I'm
Hmm.
like, because all of these are like female led, all shows like this.
Yeah.
And we're
Usually.
following, yeah, and so we're following him. I'm like, hmm, this is like really like dramatic tension. Like his brother's going crazy and he's the king, so he's in charge of a lot of people. And, there's so many plots to like get him killed because they want our male lead in charge, but he doesn't want to betray his brother. I'm like, this is really
Yeah.
interesting. And then this, the one of the evil people is essentially like, okay, the person we capture, which is our female lead, has tried to say that like has conspired with the male rival love interest, to say that because there's always a rival,
Uh
uh,
huh.
to say that you, our male lead, purposefully like poisoned and committed treason against the king, your brother. And
Mhm.
even though this whole time the audience has been shown that the king is like horrible. He used to be a good dude, but like awful, went genuinely crazy and like horrible, horrible person. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
the main male lead this entire time has been like, I know he's gone mad, but like I love him, you know, like he's my brother. I will
Mhm.
not betray him, and he never has. And so the evil guy is like, okay, well, main female lead and rival love interest have said that you did. And obviously this is
Ooh.
fake. The two of them did not do this. But
Mhm.
evil guy is like, they definitely did it. Well, the main male guy, I'm thinking he's gonna go, oh, okay, well, he's gonna say, you know, like either they would never do that or he's gonna be like, you don't have proof or something like that. And so he
Mhm.
does, and he's like, you know, well, we have proof that you're lying. And I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. And then he goes and he saves them, and it's fine. That is not what happened.
Oh
Um,
no.
and I was so surprised because, again, there's a very clear structure to these things. And so the
Yeah.
classic happens where he's like, I know you're lying, evil guy. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now he goes and saves them. And he takes out his sword and he just kills evil guy. And I was like,
Damn.
okay, well, we're 4 episodes in, so maybe this is just meant to be like a now he's taken a life, so, you know, it's going to weigh on him energy. Okay, maybe they got another villain stored. Cool. And then you follow him as he goes to like rival boy and female lead, and they're like, what will be their punishment for trying to say you committed treason, because obviously they committed treason by trying to say he committed treason, etc.
Mhm.
And this man goes, and obviously love interest, our female lead, is like, I never did that.
Yeah.
They've been friends, right? Now obviously there's a whole concept of like they think she's a dude or whatever, so they've been friends, but none of that matters. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but they've been friends. Female lead and male lead have been friends up until this point before she got like captured and they lied about her. So she's like, obviously, you know me. I would not do that. I didn't do that. What do you
Yeah.
mean punishment? Like, obviously, I didn't do that. The king is like, our male lead has a moment where he goes, they will be flogged 100 times and sentenced to 3 years hard labor for conspiring against me. And I know why my brother went crazy, because everybody is against me and everybody wants me dead. And I'm sitting there like,
Damn.
literally, I swear to God, I have my mouth open, and the episode ends with like, she doesn't even beg for her life. She realizes that he's like become paranoid like his brother now, and
Mhm.
it's her best friend is also a part of this, because her best friend, they were accusing, did it with her, because her best friend wouldn't say that like she was a woman, right? Because that's the
Mhm.
actual secret the best friend was hiding, but they
Yeah.
thought that the best friend was a part of it. So she literally doesn't even beg for this life, because she's like, oh my God, this male lead has gone crazy. She straight up goes, fine. You want me dead? You want me tortured? You want me exiled? That's fine, bitch. You're clearly crazy. But let my friend go, because my friend didn't do jack shit. She's not a part
Mhm.
of this. And I will say anything you want me to say, but she's not a part of this. And she's like, please, like, you are my friend. Let him go. And this man looks at her and goes, I have no friends. I am the king now. And
Dude.
I'm saying, this is where the episode's end. I'm sitting there, jaw on the floor, because not only has this show fully gone against everything this genre does,
Mhm.
but I'm sitting here going, the only way this show can still be tagged romance is if she still gets with him by the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why is it tagged romance?
There has to be one kiss.
But I'm sitting here and the episode's done and I'm shocked out of my mind because this is crazy. And all of a sudden it hits me and I go, oh my God, this is real enemies to lovers. They're doing actual, because I don't know if I've said this on podcasts before, but there is a thing where people like to do enemies to lovers, but in reality, what they're doing is rivals to lovers.
Yeah.
Because rivals to lovers is oh, makes fun of you, and oh, we have banter and we don't like each other. That's rivals to lovers. Enemies to lovers is I am an evil warlord. I slaughtered all your family. We fucking hate each other's guts and have done awful, horrible things to each other, and yet somehow we're gonna come to understand each other and fall in love. Whether the audience agrees with it or not, that is true enemies to lovers. And most things don't do that because obviously most people won't like that.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, love true enemies to lovers. And so
Because it's interesting.
because it's interesting and because I'm a fucking freak. And so I'm sitting here like he has accused her and believed that she lied against him. He has sentenced them both to hard labor exile for 3 years, which gets her best friend killed, by the way, because her best friend had already been tortured for a couple of days under this pretense and was so weak that she couldn't even make it to the walk to the labor camp. So gets her best friend killed, gets the rival male interest exiled as well, and then they do a time skip for the next episode starts 3 years later. And so he does all of that and then spends 3 years being just as cruel and awful of a king as his brother was. I'm talking like I'm talking like abusive, misogynistic, like framing people, torturing people, like all sorts of things. Now, granted, some of that was what you did in the time period, but this show has shown with his brother being king that they are considering that still bad in our universe.
Yeah.
And so he's doing all these things, and he's like going to whorehouses, and he's drinking, and he's not doing any of his responsibilities. And he also, his brothers, when his brother was king, right? Because his brother died, and then he takes over like king throne. He exiles his brother's wife from literally the whole ass fucking country, and is like, if you don't leave, I'll kill you and your kids. Because her son, since he was the king's son, is the one who's supposed to be the king, not him. And so he sends her away, and then takes both the children and essentially locks them away in a house on the court, and is like, they have to live here, and they live here for like the next 3 years, and they're never allowed to leave or anything. And they're terrified of him for obvious reasons. And so like he's been doing awful shit, and I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm flabbergasted and excited because this is gonna be true enemies to lovers, and I love enemies to lovers. But then it gets better. I don't know how this shit got better, because I'm like, all right, the only way I could see them doing enemies to lovers with him being this bad and have wronged her, like her best friend is dead. Oh, by the way, earlier in the show, gets her father killed too. So her father's dead, her best friend is dead. She got exiled and almost died herself during this whole transition period, all because of this man that she has to end up with by the end of the show. And I'm like, the only way that I could see this happening is they're gonna pull a Catra from She-Ra moment where they were best friends. The main male lead was a genuinely good guy. Like, we saw him save people. We saw him take blows for children. We saw him fight against all of the oppressors and his brother at the very beginning of the show. And then the same way She-Ra does with Catra, where they split ways and Catra continues to be evil and do more bad things until eventually they both come back to each other and are like, actually, you know what? Yeah, we got to be good people. and I know there's still good in you energy. So I was like, that's the only way I can see them doing this is he was good. She knew he was good. The court corrupted him. They brainwashed him the same way they did his brother. She's going to go back to him and be like, I know there's a good person in there. And she's going to mold him and teach him how to be genuine and authentic and good again. I'm like, all right, that's the plot. I'm right, but I'm not right in the way we think it's going to be. Because the next episode, after the time skip, she's back, right? She's back to do this whole plot that I'm thinking is going to happen. And we get a little monologue where somebody's like, are you sure about this, right? Because remember, she's still pretending to be a dude because he only knew her as a dude. And in this time period, that's like a death sentence. So they're like, are you sure that you are going to walk back into this court as a convicted traitor of literal treason against the king and pretending to be a man? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm like, oh, okay, she wants to redeem him. She saw him good. And then she goes, I want to do it because I will never let him forget what it is like to spill an innocent person's blood. And I was like, no. And then she keeps going.
Yes.
And literally, I was like, no way. And then she keeps going because there's other like people like the her best friend's like husband or whatever is on her side as well. And he's like, then we're doing this. And she's like, he's gonna fucking die. We are going to kill the king. And I'm like, I literally sat there. I was like, it's enemies to lovers and a revenge plot. Like,
it was at this point Rachel creamed herself from excitement.
Literally, because this is also a show where I like stopped, and this isn't a huge thing, but I like stopped watching it for like maybe a month because the first 2 episodes are so bored the shit out of me. And I'm so glad I came back to it because literally, and I'm still not even halfway through it, but literally, this is how you do true enemies to lovers. I don't know. I'm hiccuping. Oh my god. I don't know how to explain to people. Like,
She's excited.
I'm so excited. This is genuinely the true nature of enemies to lovers. You can do a redemption arc. You can pull a Catra. That is an enemies to lovers. But god fucking damn it, true, genuine, pure enemies to lovers is one person wrongs the other one, and the other one goes, if it is the last thing I will do, I will fucking kill you. And that is true enemies to lovers, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna keep going against each other and keep being like, I hope you fucking die. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure you fucking die. I fucking hate you. And then at some point, they're gonna fucking look at each other and go, oh no. Uh-oh.
Shit.
Yeah, they're gonna go, uh-oh. Because what they're gonna realize is if anybody but them kills them, they're gonna be sad. They're gonna be upset. And that is the trigger to go, oh no. Oh, the hate has consumed me so much that I love this fucker. Uh-oh. And I'm so excited because it's already started where the king, did this thing where he was like, come on, let's go do whatever. And he goes to like touch her and she like fucking pushes him, which again, this is the goddamn fucking king. So she pushes him and we're like, oh my god, he's gonna like beat the shit out of her. Oh my god, because he's like crazy at this point. And I'm sitting like, oh no. Oh, she's gonna get beat the fuck up. And she can't do anything about it because she can't kill him right now because everybody will know it's her. And he just like looks at her and the only words that come out of his mouth are, you don't like me? And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the hell?
Yes, stupid. What the fuck?
Literally. And she just looks at him like, what? And I was like, what the fuck is happening? It's got my whole heart and soul, and I'm gonna fucking binge watch it when we're done with this podcast because it's the way you get people is to commit to a bit And these
Mhm.
fuckers said, we are committing to enemies to lovers. In no way, shape, or form should anybody forgive this man, but she will. She's gonna wanna kill him for 20 something episodes. And then on the last episode, she's gonna have to realize that she has fallen back in love with him, even after all the shit he did to her and her father and her best friend. And she's gonna have to turn around to her best friend's husband, to all the people he tortured that are ready to kill him in her plot to kill him. She's gonna have to turn around and go, so, so
Oh
what if we
man.
didn't? Like,
Oh.
like,
So it's not completed then, right?
I have not finished it. The show is
Okay.
completed. I think it's an older show. I don't know for sure. It's on Netflix. It's called Captivating the King, which is a super romancy title, which is why I thought I was getting into classic Korean rom-com. But no.
Boy, were you wrong.
Literally, I was so fucking wrong, bro. Highly recommend it. I will say the first couple episodes are a little boring, and like I said earlier, this show is not like, it's a romance technically, but it does not play games. Like, not only is the female lead not really the lead of the show like the king is, the male lead is the lead of the show, which is fine. Male led romance shows are great, but it very much is a drama foot forward. It is a period piece. It is a, like, 99.9% of the screen time is gonna be other things, and then maybe you'll get a meet cute in quotes because they want to kill each other, but a meet cute where they look at each other's eyes and go, shit, like, I want to kill you. But yeah, I recommend it. It's on Netflix. It's very good. We'll end this episode here. It might end up being the bonus episode. I don't fucking know. We're not monetized on YouTube, so I think we can post it.
Yeah.
So it'll be fine. So congrats, you got a lot of sexual bullshit for free. You just had to deal with me telling you why animals are fuckable. And Gal telling you why spider people are fuckable. And then rounding it out with one of my Korean drama fanatic rants. So a classic episode. This is pretty much what it's like. So if you want more of this crazy bullshit, I genuinely don't know what we're going to talk about. If you want more of it, you can hop on over to the Patreon. And obviously, if we didn't censor bullshit here, we really ain't going to censor bullshit over there. Yeah, that's it. Gal, you got anything to say before I peace us out?
Read and watch everything we've mentioned.
Yes, do it.
Please.
Because if you meet me at a convention and you mention one of these shows, you will be the best. You can't be the best viewer because Gal's here, but you can be the second best member of the community.
Rachel will add you to the podcast, and you will be forced into listening to us be morons.
Oh my god! Yeah, you'll be forced to show up to live streams and listen to me rant about bullshit. Oh,
that is true.
Lord.
Can't
all right, y'all. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.